So a soldier who is seriously wounded on a modern battlefield has over a 90% chance of surviving his injuries. That's astounding, but we can't do nearly as well here at home. One of the reasons the military does so well is when you're shot on a battlefield, the soldier standing next to you knows exactly what to do and is able to begin treating you usually within seconds of your injury and keep you alive long enough for the medics to show up and get you to a surgeon. There's no reason we can't do that here. And that's what I'm here to talk about tonight, is what you need to know to keep the person next to you alive long enough to make it to definitive care. Fortunately, it's really basic, simple stuff. It's easier than picking a lock or gardening in a straw bale. You just need to keep in mind 3 basic principles. You gotta stop the leaks, because blood belongs on the inside. You gotta keep the blood moving, because if it's not circulating to your brain and your kidneys, it doesn't do you any good. And you've got to make sure the air can go in and out because, well, breathing is important. Stopping the leaks, stopping major blood loss takes precedence over everything else because damaging an artery in your arm or your upper leg can cause you to bleed out in 1 or 2 minutes. And even if you don't bleed to death, the serious blood loss can cause all sorts of complications that will make your resuscitation more difficult and make it less likely that you're going to survive. So we're talking primarily about bleeding from an extremity because that's really the only thing you can do anything about. So you'll look for where the blood's spurting from or where it's running out from, and you put your hand over it and you put pressure on it. Put your body weight behind it. It's gonna hurt like hell, but you need to stop that leak. Now, if the limb is too badly mangled, like a really messy amputation, then you might need to tie it off. You're gonna throw your belt around it or a rolled up shirt and you pull tight. And if it keeps bleeding, you pull tighter until you finally get that bleeding stopped. Then you just tie a knot in it and leave it alone. Don't loosen it. Keeping the blood moving, of course, refers to CPR, which has gotten, thankfully, a lot simpler in recent years. Now, if you find somebody lying on the ground or you see them collapse and they don't respond when you shake them, and they don't seem to be breathing, well, then you just put your hands in the middle of their chest. You call 911 first, of course. Put your hands in the middle of the chest, one hand over the other, and you push hard and you push fast. And that's it. There's no airway checks. There's no pulse check. You just push hard and you push fast. And fast means you sing "Staying Alive" to yourself and keep up with the beat. Now, if somebody needs CPR, you should also be thinking about if you have access to an AED. These things are amazing. They're super effective and they save lives every day. It's just a box with 2 big stickers attached to it with a wire. Each sticker will have a diagram on it that shows where on your chest that sticker should be placed. And when you open the lid, or if it doesn't have a lid, when you push the big power button, it'll immediately come on and start yelling directions at you. It'll say things like, "Attach the pads," and "Stand clear of the patient." And if you just follow what it tells you to do, if the person's in a shockable rhythm, then you may just get to shock somebody's heart back to life. Now, that's really fucking cool. Now, finally, making sure air can still go in and out. Let's start with the super basic stuff. You've come home from the bar, you find somebody passed out in the gutter, flat on their back, and they've just vomited. You can see the bubbles coming up through the vomit, and they're kind of bucking against it, trying to breathe. You just flip them over. The gravity pulls it out, and they can breathe again. You've saved their life. Now, if they're choking on food, first of all, they almost never look like this because people who are choking are too embarrassed to be seen choking in public, so they speed walk off to the bathroom, and then they pass out and die in private. But when this is happening, you have them turn around, have them lean forward, and you just hit them hard, right on the back, all of your strength right between the shoulder blades. And you're gonna do that 5 or 6 times. If that doesn't work, you can also try the abdominal thrust, or what used to be called the Heimlich. It's where you put your fist between the belly button and the bottom of the rib cage. You grab it with your other hand, and fast and hard, you pull in and up like you're trying to shove your fist inside their ribs from underneath. And you do that 5 or 6 times. If that doesn't work, you go back to the back blows. Now you notice I haven't warned you against moving an injured person. That's because these people are going to die if you don't help them right now. So you gotta prioritize their life over their limb and move on. Do what you need to do. stop the leaks, keep the blood moving, and make sure air can go in and out. Now you can save a life.